you're a Samsung fan and you have an older model that performed at a high level, just hold on before you run out and buy a new TV. Now they do make series such as the Crystal UHD or your QLED, but if you really want to take it up a notch, you might want to consider this TV right here. This is the Samsung QN70F. Now this is the entry level to get into the mini LED technology because they do make a 80 series and a 90 series, which you're going to pay more money for. But what I'm seeing in this TV so far, I think it's going to be a middle-of-the-road television that doesn't break the bank. This QN70F has the QN4 AI second generation processor. The AI technology in this television does multiple things. Not only does it clean up the picture from older content, but it also is used for Samsung TV Plus, which is a free streaming service built into this Samsung television, and it'll let you find genres and actors. And if you're watching a show, you can hit a button and see everyone who's on that show. And you can also see other movies or shows that they're in, which is a great feature. But I know you didn't click on this video for that. So let's get right into some demos. Now we're on Apple TV and I pulled up Foundation. It's just a movie that you can watch on there. But let's take a look at the picture profiles. And I really like the look of the movie profile. Now we have filmmakers mode that really didn't change it too much, and that could be due to metadata. But when we go to dynamic, this is going to make TV too bright, but look how these highlights really pop over here. Then we have your standard mode, and this can be great for watching everyday TV. We have an eco mode that's meant to save you a little bit of energy, and back to movie mode. Now there is a feature called AI. If we turn that on, it's going to actually use technology to make sure you get the best picture. As you can see there, AI definitely makes a difference in the picture quality, but you do lose some of the warmness when you turn it on. That's movie mode, AI mode. So you have to determine which one is going to work the best for you. Now this is the movie mode in HDR10 Plus, and you can see it by the little indicator at the bottom. Here's filmmakers mode, and I can see a little bit of change there. Over here we have dynamic, we have standard, and we have equal mode. So going from HDR, from SDR, the biggest thing I can notice is that the pictures is a little more flatter in comparison, but I think it all depends on the content if you want to get the best out of HDR. And while we're on here, let's go and check out the movie mode versus AI. Okay, here's AI, here's movie mode, here's AI. I actually like the movie mode better because when I switch to AI, it seems like we lose a lot of these highlights back here. Look at that difference right there. So if you want to get that cleaner picture, just leave the AI off according to what I'm seeing here so far. Now, as far as sports on this TV, the motion looks good and it has a good color to it. I currently have the TV in standard mode, and this is ideal for watching TV every day. When watching broadcast content, just don't expect to get the best colors out of your television. I would just say that on some networks, it will look better than others. And here's an example. Just by changing the channel, you can see the TV look that much better. Now, one thing about this television, it does support up to 144 Hertz, and that would take a high-powered graphics card, hooking up to HDMI, and you will get it in spurts with variable refresh rate. Now, if you don't have a gaming PC, you can also use your gaming console, and I'll show you some of the settings in just a minute. Or you can use the built-in Samsung Cloud right here. And what this allows you to do is connect a controller to the TV with Bluetooth, and then you can go online and play games with subscription services. With that being said, let's take a look at the two consoles I have so you can see what settings are available. Now the Q70F is made for gaming, so if you press and hold down the play pause button while it's in gaming mode, you will get this gaming bar, and there's plenty of options inside of here. Now, if you go into more settings, you'll go to the main menu and you have auto game mode, you have virtual aiming point, and you can also change the black EQ on it. And this is going to help out the contrast on the television. And there's also a feature called Game Motion Plus, and this will allow you to change the motion on the television as far as the blur and judder reduction to get the best picture. Now, there's an option called LED Clear Motion. A lot of times when you turn this on, it will make the motion smoother, but it will make the picture darker. Now inside the PS5, we're going to check out all the different capabilities by going to current video output signal. Now, if you're a gamer, this TV has you covered because you do have variable refresh rate, and you can get up to 144 Hertz using a PC with the correct graphics card. Plus you do get HDR support. It also supports up to 120 Hertz at 1440p. And of course you get it at 1080p. So that's the basic settings inside of the PS5. Now I'm going to use my $10 remote control to hit the source button, and then we can switch over to the Xbox. Now that we're in the Xbox, you can see that it will do 4K, but this one actually has the option to go right to 120 Hertz. Now with the 120 Hertz up, you can go over here to 4K TV details. And as you can see here, just like the PS5, it will support everything. But keep in mind, Samsung TVs do not support Dolby Vision. They use Samsung HDR10 Plus, which is very similar. Now, if we look at the other settings in here, it's exactly the same. And we do have the variable refresh rate, 4K, everything except for Dolby Vision. But some reason, Dolby Vision gaming is checked off, but I know it doesn't support it. So those are the options inside of the Xbox. So now we're going to do some tests, and this is a 24 frames per second motion test just to see if we're getting ghosting or trailing, and we are getting just a little bit on some of these balls right here. Now keep in mind that 24 frames per second is really designed for movies, and that's to give you that cinematic look. So as we can see here, there is a little bit of trailing here on this ball, especially at the top there, missing a couple of frames there. Now we're using 60 frames per second, and it's smooth like butter. This ball is bouncing really nice. I don't see any trailing right there or anything like that on it. So just keep that in mind if you're watching different content, that it's not the TV, it's just basically the signal that you're giving it. And again, 60 frames per second is ideal to get you the best response when it comes to televisions in general. When it comes to dirty screen effects, I think this TV actually has a pretty solid picture. I can see just a slight light bleed over here, but nothing major. Overall, I think it works really well, and Samsung's did a really good job on this model. If you've been looking for a TV that's going to have pretty good black levels and a balance of colors, the Samsung QN70F will do the trick. Now, I'm not going to say it's the blackest tones I've ever seen, but for what I'm seeing right now, I think it has a really good image, and the color saturation is fantastic. Now we're going to check out the upscaling, and let's see if you can see what that looks like. Right now, I would say that these are a little bit blocky, but most people don't use any type of 480p content for the most part. In my opinion, 1080p is where you want to be at. You can see the difference in the resolution going from 480p. So I always say that the content really changes the way that you get the best picture quality, but that'll be up to you if you decide to use old content. Just don't be surprised if it doesn't look as good as it's supposed to. Switching to 4K, you can see this huge difference and improvement on the picture quality. I would say that if you're using older content or low bitrate content, you can definitely see that you're going to lose a lot of information in the image. But if you can, try to use 4K whenever possible. Now, as far as audio, it's very limited unless you get the QSymphony soundbar. So you have amplified as well as standard. If you go into all settings, you can then select sound here at the bottom, and then you can choose from TV speakers. You can do the fiber optic output, and you can connect Bluetooth speakers. Now, I do have another video come out, and I'm going to show you about the QSymphony and how you can get a Samsung soundbar to get the best out of any Samsung television. You also have different controls like your balance, you have a EQ, and this is where you would switch on the eARC for the audio outputs, and you have a few other features down here, including auto volume. Now let's take a listen to the audio in the TV so you can get a rough idea how it sounds.
This is a Tech Steve dialogue test to check the clarity of this TV built-in speaker system. I recommend an audio system for movies, but if you're wondering how it sounds with music, let's test them now. Turn it up, test those TV speakers. Let that twang resonate through the rafters.
Now we're going to take a look at the unboxing that I originally filmed when I got this TV, so you can see everything it comes with, and you can see the inputs and more. Right after that, I'm going to show you a run through of the operating system so you can see some of the settings that are available in the QN70F. And one thing about this TV, you will have different sizes to choose from. As I mentioned, this is the 65-inch model, but you can get it in different sizes. And this includes a 55, 65, 75, and an 85-inch model. Now here's the legs that comes with it, made out of plastic, but they're pretty heavy duty. And it has a cover that you're gonna put on the base by the looks of it. It comes with a power cord like every TV, but it's L-shaped, so I would assume that's so you can put it closer to the wall. And here's a closer look at the remote control. As you can see here, you have a microphone, settings. This one has AI as well as a microphone. Down here we have navigation, home, play pause, volume channel, and if you're pressing the volume, get a mute. Plus you have your navigation keys here at the bottom. And this one is solar powered, as you can see right there, and it has a USB-C charger port on the bottom of it. And the cool thing is that you can see the battery life inside the TV's menu, but for people who want number pads, this TV will still work with the old $10 Samsung remote control that you can get off of Amazon. You just basically lose all the Bluetooth capabilities, so you don't get voice command or any of that stuff. At least you get an input button and a number pad. And one thing about these feet, they're easy just to put on. You just put them where you want them and snap them right into place. And we'll go ahead and do the other one. And that's pretty much it, not much to it. Here's the back of it. It's just got a plain look to it, and it does have some wire maintenance, but in my findings, sometimes the wire will fall out of this wire maintenance, and it's got to be a certain size and thickness for it to fit in these grooves. Now it does have screw holes that you can use to mount it on the wall, and I do believe most of the Samsung TVs use the M8 screws, but the brackets can vary. Now as far as inputs, we do have 2 USBs, and these are 2.0, 4 HDMIs, and again, these will support up to 144 Hertz if you have a gaming PC. And then you'll just put the cover over here. Satisfying. And I want to give you a quick rundown of the operating system just in case you haven't seen it before. First of all, you can add different profiles, and that it would be your Samsung accounts. You have a search feature where you can use the voice command, show me the latest movie. And that's how the search feature works. And you can select a movie, and some of it is paid service. We have art mode. And keep in mind, this is a paid service, but this is something that they use on the Samsung frames. So you can have cool wall art on the TV whenever you're not using it. Now keep in mind, you can add your own photos here. You can do favorites, and there's the membership. But you can see here, there's a lot of selection as far as the art mode. Then we have Daily Plus. Inside of here, you're gonna find a ton of applications, including the Smart Things app. And the reason you'll like this feature is because if you have different devices in your home, especially powered by the Matter operating system, you can go in here and find devices and control everything with your television. And if you have a Samsung phone, you can also set it up to ring. So let's say if I hit continue, the Galaxy 22, I save it, then I press on it. And you can see right there, it found my phone. And that's a great feature add-on for the television. And let's say you set up all your lights and everything, you can set up routines, and you can do this through the Smart Things application. And there's a whole list of different applications from the Microsoft Copilot, the Fuse Sync System, and a few other ones over here, including Workspace, where you can use your Samsung phone and DeX to be able to use it like a computer. Plus you can use the Samsung Health application if you want to sync your phone to it. And next we have the Gaming Hub, and this allows you to connect your controller to it. You can listen to music, and you can play some of these different services if you have a subscription that allows you to cloud game on a Samsung TV. Other than that, we have your home profile, and it will recommend things for you. You can watch live TV, and you can use it for the Samsung TV Plus. And this is where you can get access to all your applications and download them. Plus, this TV does have a web browser and a photo reader if you plug a thumb drive into the back of it. And last thing I'll show you, if you go to all settings, you'll have different controls, and this TV has plenty of different features. With the Smart Things application, you can calibrate the television. You have expert mode. If you go back here, you can change the sound, connections, and with the AI settings, it can do live translations on certain TV channels. Plus you can change your voice. There's some gestures in here, and you have that daily board that I told you about earlier. So that's a quick rundown of the Samsung Tizen operating system. And no, you cannot sideload applications into this television. So here's my thoughts on this QN70F. The audio system you definitely need the soundbar because the TV is so thin that it's not going to give you that robust bass like the ones that has the subwoofers built into it. Also, the remote control, it can be a little bit confusing how to use it, but when it comes to picture quality, I think it has decent black levels, not the blackest, not gonna be OLED, but it also has really good colors, and it has a feature in it called Color Boost where you can add more vibrant colors to the television. Now, when it comes to gaming, this TV is a beast. The fact that you can get up to 120 hertz, 144 hertz with a computer, and you have that gaming bar, that is a plus. Other than that, I like the design of it. This is going to fit on anyone's table. And I like to say that when it comes to Samsung, the connectivity to the application and having full control of this TV remotely is a plus. If you guys have any questions, make sure you leave that down below in the comments. I'm Tech Steve. Thanks all for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.